Oh, what's up, my dudes? Halo 3, messing around on here, wanted to come in here and talk about the potential for the next Halo having a Battle Royale mode. So, oh my gosh, some of you guys may not realize this about me, but the amount of Halo I've played is unreal. A lot of people, they probably don't even actually realize this because I haven't done a lot of Halo on my channel, but believe it or not, I got into Halo on Halo 1, the original. I know they made a remake of it, but I was on the original Halo playing split screen with my buddies way back in the day. Then got into Halo 2 when it first came out. Then obviously that warped into getting into Halo 3 when it first came out. So I'm telling you, I've spent countless hours on Halo 1, 2, and 3 back in the days when it actually came out. So I got a good Halo sort of eye, you know, like I know what's going on with Halo. I know a lot about it. Basically, been a long time since I played them, but I used to play them all the time, man. And then obviously got into the actual Xbox Live on Halo 3. I don't think I actually played Halo 2 on Xbox Live, just simply because I didn't even have it at the time. I was still just playing split screen with my buddies, but oh my gosh, dude, like we used to have like 2 screens set up, 4 people on each screen. It was insanity, dude. Like that was back in the day when you were trying to really do like LAN battles and stuff, you know? Oh wow, that was certainly something. So either way, I just wanted to kind of give that little preface to this video to some of my fans out there that don't realize, you know, how much Halo I've actually played back in the day. And obviously then it went into, after Halo 3, it went into like what, Reach, ODST, then Reach, then Halo 4, then 5, which all of those are kind of a whole different animal than Halo 1, 2, 3. I feel like Halo 1, 2, 3 are the kind of the golden years of Halo. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, the whole Battle Royale idea for Halo. Not really sure. I don't know the information on this exactly, like, you know, what has been confirmed as far as, like, for sure if they're going to have a Battle Royale in the next Halo or what. I have no idea, so I just want to make that really clear. Like, I'm fully just speculating off the top of my head in this video, okay? Don't take any of this as, like, super fact or anything like that, all right? So, just want to make that clear. Like, I don't even know if they'll have a Battle Royale in the next Halo. I just think a lot of people are speculating that because of, you know, it's kind of a trend now, and a lot of the games are, a lot of the first-person shooter games are putting that in. Even if they're not first-person shooter games, just any sort of shooter game in general, they're kind of going down the road of putting Battle Royale in there. It's interesting with Halo because you just, you automatically would think that would be kind of cool in a Halo, simply because of the fact of Halo already sort of having that whole entire, you know, like guns on the ground, picking up guns on the ground, kind of starting with nothing and then having to go get it in the world and getting power weapons. That's been in Halo forever. You know, that's kind of how Halo works versus how a lot of modern day shooters now, they work where you pick your class before you even go into the match. And you don't really pick up that much guns on the ground. I mean, like in Call of Duty, you can pick up a gun on the ground, like in normal multiplayer. Like, if you kill somebody, you can pick up their gun, or if you run out of ammo, you can pick up their gun, but it's not like you start off with this shitty average assault rifle, and then you go pick up, like, a super powerful sniper rifle, or everybody starts off with the same gun, then you go pick up this really powerful shotgun, or whatever. Like, Halo actually already had that sort of infrastructure to it, like what a Battle Royale has nowadays. You guys know most Battle Royales, everybody starts off with nothing. Then you got to go pick everything up, and you can actually have a massive advantage over other people depending on what you've picked up. You know, so it's kind of it's already got that sort of vibe to Halo. So now some of the things that instantly, you know, some of the questions and concerns that instantly arise when you think about Halo Battle Royale is pretty much going to have bullet drop in some kind of degree, which isn't really in Halo. So that's a concern right off the bat. That's certainly something to think about for sure, is the whole, you know, you're going to have bullet drop. You just pretty much have to have it in Battle Royale, because most time Battle Royale maps are pretty big enough to where You need some bullet drop. I mean, you can in Halo, I don't think there's any in any Halo. It's kind of like how Call of Duty's been known to be, where there's just no bullet drop. Like, you can aim the furthest part on the furthest map, and I don't think there's actually bullet drop. Now, there may be bullet velocity, like sort of how fast the bullet gets to where it's going. That might be different. Like, I think maybe a sniper might get faster to a place than like just an assault rifle, but there's not actually bullet drop. So that's going to be something they would have to totally put in there in a battle royale, which totally changes the dynamic of it. But I think it would fit Halo pretty cool. Like, you know, you just imagine, let me run in here and pick up this little BR real quick. You know, a little battle rifle. You just imagine everybody running around like this. You got everybody on a map kind of like Valhalla, but it's like this times 10 size-wise, right? And you're running around, you're like having to aim in on people, but you have the bullet drop there. So, and then another thing that's not even in Halo, there's no weapon sway. Like, I can aim in right here, there's literally no weapon sway. So that's a thought in itself too. I don't know if they have weapon sway in some of the newer Halos, like Halo 5. I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly, but I know when you don't have weapon sway, that's a totally different kind of battle royale. You guys know Ring of Elysium. That's a game that doesn't have any weapon sway in it, and it totally feels like a completely different game than a game like PUBG that actually has weapon sway. And same way with Call of Duty. It has some weapon sway, but very, very little, right? But the games like Halo and Ring of Elysium that literally have no weapon sway, like I'm sitting here right here, even though my gun's over there kind of swaying, my sights are not swaying at all. None. So that's interesting because it makes it to where you can be like laser on target. You don't have to be as good with your aiming while you're moving, because like in PUBG, when you're moving, it makes your sway even more and all that. So you've got all these little dynamic things that's going on with your aiming. So it's like, would they fill, because that'd be weird, and it is weird not having sway but having bullet drop. I think that's kind of bizarre in a game, which is kind of how it is in Ring of Elysium. So, but I think that it's one of those things they're just going to have to come to a decision if they want to make it a little bit more. They obviously don't want to lose that Halo feeling, and I can understand that, but it would be really fucking bizarre having like the original Halo shooting mechanics on a battle royale style, like no weapon sway, no actual bullet drop. See, there's technically projectile bullet drop on this right here, right? Which is not like a gun, it's like a damn little grenade launcher type thing. And does the rocket launchers have a little bit of drop on them? I can't remember. I know that it gets a little different when you start talking about some of these specialty weapons, right? They're not exactly like just a standard gun, you know, actual bullet projectile. But I don't think, and this is me trying to remember from way back in the day, so bear with me if some of my facts, I think it's this way, is not exactly like this. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know for sure if it is or if it ain't, but I don't remember there ever really being all that much of a bullet drop on any weapon in Halo, like as far as an actual, you know, bullet projectile weapon. So I don't know, but you know what I'm talking about though, like real bullet drop. Like basically to hit that rock out there, I'd have to aim up here or something, right? From this distance instead of aiming right there. And to hit that, I would have to aim like right up in here. And then it's the bullet, how fast the bullet travels. So if it's moving from right to left, then you got to think about, you not only would have, if let's say that thing over there was moving from right to left, like it was some dude running from over here to there, you not only would have to aim above it, but then you'd have to aim like this to kind of counter. And depending on what weapon you have, the closer you could actually aim it to the target itself, depending on the bullet velocity, speed, all that kind of stuff, which makes it where you really have to learn each individual weapon. So it'd be cool to see all that in it, if it like basically took the whole Halo idea and tried to keep it as close to that as it possibly could, but then added a little bit more of the, you know, what you expect in a battle royale, actual gun mechanic type thing to it. Yeah, I don't know how they'd do that. I honestly don't. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think on that. What would be the best way to do it? You could keep the Halo feeling, but just make it to where your projectiles are a little bit harder to get on target when you're moving and when they're at a real far distance. I think if you, let's just say, Okay, here's a way to do it. Similar to kind of how they did Call of Duty Battle Royale, in the sense of when you're on, let's just say this was a Battle Royale map that was really 10 times this size, but you're in this sort of distance between people, it still feels like you're just playing Halo. You know, like they're close enough to where you don't really notice the bullet drop in this particular map size, even if it was in a huge Battle Royale map. It's only when they would get like ridiculous far distances where you'd really notice the bullet drop. That's a way they could go about doing it, right? Where, you know, you still basically keep your original Halo feeling in the small distances, but the super far ridiculous ranges that you don't normally have on a Halo map, that's when you would notice the bullet drop. So you could kind of have the best of both worlds to a certain extent there, but either way, yeah, that's certainly something they would have to think about on that. And then just the Battle Royale map in general, like how would they do it? What would they do with it? You know, what would be the best way to go about doing that? I don't know. So let me kind of throw this out to you as far as map design, right? You could just imagine having, like, you guys remember the sand trap map? Pretty big, open, wide, sandy map, right? And then maybe in certain areas of it, you, like, work through an area that looks like this map. You guys remember this one? We'll hop on this one here in a second. And then, like, if you go through that sort of gate, then it takes you to something like maybe this. And then somehow you go from this to this. You see what I'm saying? They could literally make it to where you go through each one of these maps seamlessly to a certain extent and make it all work, even though they're totally different, like, biomes. And then you could somehow go, like, from, especially it being like Halo, they could do anything with teleportation. You know, you go through the teleport, like, on this map, and it takes you to, or somehow you could, like, go down in one of those buildings on one side of the Valhalla map, and it takes you to the pit somehow, right? And then somehow you come out of the pit, and you come out, like, on Last Resort, or you come out on Guardian or something, and then you go through Guardian, and all of a sudden you're coming out on Construct somewhere, and then you go through Construct, and then you're coming out on this map, right? Some of you guys that know the Halo 3 maps, you'll understand exactly what I'm getting at. But, like, you could so easily, you know, go from Sand Trap, and then at the end of it, you know, you get to an area where you're right here, like high ground, so it's like the mixture between desert and normal standard woodland, and then it morphs, you know, it goes from like the desert through the gate to a normal woodland map like this. Oh my gosh, dude, that would be a perfect, like, seamless gateway through the maps. You just imagine that, you know, Sand Trap to high ground to isolation to somehow, you know, you go from isolation, you go through a tunnel or something, and you're in Snowbound, and then you go through another tunnel, and it takes you to the pit, right? And then you're down the pit, and then you go from pit to Guardian to Construct to this one right here, and then somehow it takes you to the Narrows at the end of it. So even just that simply, you could seamlessly go through every single one of the Halo 3 maps without really having to, you know, do a whole lot of, like, craziness with it. I mean, it could just all work. It really could. And that's just talking about the Halo 3 maps. That's not even talking about Halo 1 maps or Halo 2 maps, which are legendary in themselves. But just imagine a vehicle, you know, like somehow you, let me explain it this way. So somehow you cut this rock right here totally out, cut all this terrain out over here, and you punch out the walls through there, and maybe they've got an area that's kind of like the freaking, what's that one map? I can't remember if it's on Halo 1 or 2. I think it's 2 maybe. I don't know. It's that, you know, you guys know which one I'm talking about. I think they remade it too. This may be a remake of it. I don't think it is exactly a remake, but what the hell's the name of that map? That little Beaver Creek map or some shit? You guys know what I'm talking about? Where it's like got two little areas, real similar biome to this, but it's like on Halo 1 or 2. Got that little Beaver Creek shit. I don't know. They can make it to where you cut this out. You go to that little, like, Beaver Creek crossing whatever map. Then it goes into the Sand Trap map way out there in the back, and maybe they just extend that Sand Trap where it's got bigger areas on it, a little bit bigger. But then you, like, come to here, right? You just imagine taking a little mongoose right here, you know, and you drive through here. And then you're kind of going from the desert biome to the more woodlandy biome like this. You come down here, and maybe somehow you can like go through the water, some kind of water vehicle. You go over there, and then all of a sudden you're on, you know, you're on one of the more, or you know, you could go all the way over there, and somehow you're on one of the more, like maybe somehow Valhalla's like right over that hill. You know, that's a way they could do it. Or they could just leave it like this, cut out a hole right in here somewhere, or you go like through this tunnel in here, and it takes you to that that little woodland map I was telling you guys about. And that would work so well. Check out my little service tag there, boys. You like that? Little Dead Mouse 5 action, little NOS action. Okay, so like, you know, you go from there to isolation. Oh my gosh, dude, that works so good. But if they could integrate like all of the Halo maps into one map, that would be cool. That'd be a little crazy size-wise if you integrated every single Halo map into one map, and it'd be a lot of different biomes in one thing, which might kind of off-turn it a little bit. What would be cool, though, another way they could do this is they could take like all of their maps from Halo 1 through 3, or even further, even though I would like it to just be Halo 1 through 3 on the map design. But you know that map, I was telling you, going through that little tunnel like I was talking about, and somehow you come out a wall over here or something. Now you're on this map, which doesn't look all that different from what we were just on, right? But then you're like in a little area like this, and maybe go through one of these tunnels. It takes you to Valhalla right across there or something, right? So you've got all that sort of potential there. What the hell was I trying to say? Man, I've got so many freaking ideas. I'm just like going off. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So basically like just taking all of from the Halo 1 through 3 maps, but like make 3 different Battle Royale maps out of it. 3 separate different Battle Royale maps out of it. And what they could do is have one of the Battle Royale maps where it's just all of the woodland, standard woodland biomes. So it's like this, it's like Valhalla, it's like Beaver Creek shit, whatever, some of the other standard woodland ones, all together to make one huge Battle Royale map, like the Forge map, one of the Forge standard woodland maps. Take all those, put all those together to make one huge, you know, normal, like, woodlandy, standard tree map like that, and then they could have a whole nother Battle Royale map that was all based off, like, desert and dunes and stuff, you know, like the Sand Trap, that Forge Desert map, all that kind of stuff. They could put all those together and make a separate map out of that. Then go in there and have a whole nother separate Battle Royale map that's all like the indoor corridor style Halo maps. You guys know which one I'm talking about. It's like the first 4 or 5 maps of Halo 3 is kind of like that, where they're not really outside. They're not like an outside biome. They're more like almost like you're in an huge alien spaceship or something. They could have a whole map that's just got that indoor corridor kind of feeling to it. That'd be a cool way to go about doing it instead of trying to just mix all these random biomes together. It'd be a cool way for them to basically have that and have multiple different Battle Royale maps. So that's another way to go about doing it. But, yeah, there's just so much they can do. And I think the vehicles would be a massive aspect to Halo Battle Royale because, see, that's the crazy thing about it as well that goes along with why doesn't Halo have a Battle Royale, basically, like it would work so well in it, is it already has the vehicles, which you guys know that's a pretty critical aspect to Halos. And not only Halos, but Battle Royales is having vehicles in it. Not only having vehicles, but having the weapon drops on the ground. Halo has every bit of that. Has the vehicles, weapon drops on the ground already. It has every bit of the infrastructure to make a Battle Royale game. It just hasn't actually been put in there to that sort of game mode before. You see what I'm saying? Like, I guarantee they've damn near had some Battle Royale type moments in Halo on, like, custom lobbies with way more people than what you're normally able to have, and you know, like huge Forge maps. I bet you they've damn near had a Battle Royale mode in Halo made before, like without even realizing somebody's done it. You know, I guarantee you that's happened before. But I mean, the vehicles, they got to be a little careful with the flying. You know, the flying vehicles, I know those can get pretty overpowered in Halo, especially if you don't have a whole lot of people. But it's all in, like, you know, kind of balancing out where the rocket launchers, how many rocket launchers, that kind of thing. And then you wonder, like, will the weapon spawns be random or will they be, like, preset? If they're preset, then you're going to have everybody going to certain areas fighting over those weapons, which would be interesting in itself. But I also believe that would take away a little bit of the randomization. Everybody would just land in certain areas and wouldn't have any sort of variation. So probably the best way would be to just randomize the weapon spawns, not have like, oh, the sniper spawns in this area, the rocket launcher spawns over here, you know, like how Halo is standardly, right? You pretty much know where the spawns of stuff is going to be as it is, but yeah, dude, that'd be so much fun, sniping people way far off on Halo, like that snow map of Halo 1. You guys know which one I'm talking about, that real wide open, flat area Halo map at the beginning. Dude, there's just so much potential for it, and it's not even really that hard for them to do it. But I certainly think it would be cool for them to bring back the old Halo maps, kind of like how Call of Duty did with their stuff. But it'd be bizarre seeing a Halo Battle Royale that's just all new map, doesn't have anything to do with the older maps. That'd be a slightly disappointing if they did that, but I mean, I guess that would be okay. But I just think it'd be cool to see some of the older maps like this and stuff, you know. It'd just be really interesting to see that. But yeah, you'd have the vehicles, you'd have the grenades, you'd have, let's see, you could have, you know, oh, dude, think about the 4-man squad on Halo where you could pull each other back up, pick each other back up. That'd be like that freaking, and you guys remember that, that'd be almost like, you know, kind of how Halo ODST was trying to be, like the little mini Halo squad, not like a Spartan, but whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about? It'd be kind of like that, so they would have to put in some sort of, obviously, you know, being able to revive teammates, that whole side of it. You'd be able to proc shields and both get in it, or your whole teammate get in it, bubble-type shields, stuff like that. You know, all the cool little stuff that's in Halo. There's certainly, you know, damn near endless potential for it, but they've got a couple of big maps. Like, you could make a Battle Royale map just strictly out of Valhalla or strictly out of Sandtrap, just make it bigger. You know, make it bigger, but the same exact kind of vibe, biome, little, you know, objects and things you're shooting around and hiding behind and stuff. You could make that out of all of that. So, but I certainly think, would that not be insane, dude? That'd be literally like Halo Wars, but actually happening, not like a damn RTS game. If you had a, you know, full-blown, where you had like 100 people in one match of Halo, and then you could have modes where it's like, you know, 50 teams of 50 versus 50. So you've got these like huge team battle stuff. That'd be so cool to see that in a Halo game, I think. Just having that sort of feeling. But I mean, it's just like this right here, right? This is basically a fucking Battle Royale map, right? They would just have to like extend it like as far as my eye can see, like actually be able to walk all the way over there on the dunes. And actually be able to walk way over here, and this just be one little like encampment town of this super big dune Halo Battle Royale map, right? So you could certainly have that there, and obviously might be a little weird having that big of wide open spaces. You might want to put a little bit more stuff, like actual stuff to hide behind, stuff like that over there, but man, I don't know what else to say. It'd be cool. It'd be cool if they put a vehicle like that in there where you could really have like 10 of your teammates on one vehicle, all strolling down through. Then like 5 rocket launchers shoot at you at once. Halo just has that so cool, fun feeling to it. You know, it was the original like Advanced Warfare, but not as shitty as Advanced Warfare. You know what I mean? Where you're kind of like jumping up in the air, shooting people, but yet people don't instantly die like they do in Call of Duty. So you got that whole... Halo's got a very interesting skill base to it where it's almost like you... Totally different than a Call of Duty. You know, totally different than a quick kill game. It's got a very... you've almost got to like see what's going to happen before it happens because of how slowly you die in the game and how slow some of the engagements can be. You really have to like time out your headshots, time out your shots, time out your grenades, it's all a timing thing, you know. You've got to be able to read what's going to happen in the future really well when you're playing Halo, and that's such a cool thing to it because it changes everything about it. Makes it feel like a totally different game than Call of Duty and stuff like that. So that's cool, man. I don't know if they're actually going to do this on a future Halo. May not come in the next one, maybe in the next Halo. I don't know. That'd be a little disappointing, but where'd my fucking sniper go? Damn it. blew my sniper come out of this hole? Yeah, it did. There it is, dude. So yeah, makes you think about if they're really going to have a sprint. I would assume they would. You guys know there wasn't actually a sprint in Halo back in these days. I think there might be a sprint in Halo now. But that's another little aspect to it. But, I mean, you could just imagine. You can almost, like, play this out as it is. You know, imagine dudes running over this dune over here, right? And you're like having to get right on, boom, taking dudes out all the way over the dune. Like, that's pretty much would be Halo Battle Royale, right? You got dudes way out here on a rock, boom. You have to really, you know, have the scarcity of the sniper bullets around and stuff like that. So it'd be cool if they brought back, I mean, god dang it, I know it sounds so crazy and weird, but it would be cool if somehow they just had, like, Halo 3 or 2 or 1, exactly how it was back then, but just with Battle Royale. You know, I hate how, like, if you think about a new Halo, you think about, man, are they going to have some weird new weapon that's not like the old weapons, or the rocket launcher doesn't feel the same, or the sniper doesn't feel the same, then it's not going to feel the same. Man, Halo's just one of those kind of games where the weapons, specifically from Halo 1 through 3, had a very, like, identifiable feeling to them. And you just don't want that kind of feeling to go away on a Halo, I guess. But that's just the old man me talking, you know, from playing all the old Halos back in the day. But it'll be cool to see how that eventually happens and how they integrate the Forge into it and all that and have little vehicles like this shit on there. I don't know, man. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but Halo is definitely a game that could certainly strive and succeed in having Battle Royale. And I almost think Halo could succeed more than Call of Duty in Battle Royale because it's just more of that kind of game, right? It's more of a kind of silly, almost more like, but not silly like in a not cool way like Fortnite, but it's silly in a way to where you don't instantly die. You know, you got that kind of more health, you got shields, so it kind of has that fun little feeling to it. It'd be like playing Fortnite, but just a little bit more serious, but still keeping that fun factor to it, that just kind of fun jumping vehicles and shooting rocket launchers and all this crazy stuff that's not really in Call of Duty. It is a little bit, but not really, and that's not really in PUBG at all. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Be interesting to see how all that pans out, but I certainly think it's got potential, without a doubt. Halo's got way more potential for Battle Royale than Call of Duty because everything's already, like, it wouldn't even feel all that weird to have Battle Royale in Halo because you would still have your weapon drops on the ground like Halo's always been. You still have your vehicles in there like has always been in Halo. You know, you would have all that still in there. So it wouldn't feel all that different, whereas like Call of Duty Battle Royale feels super different because like you're not used to playing Call of Duty with no real weapon and dropping down with nothing and playing Call of Duty with vehicles. That's not really something you remember from Call of Duty, but you already recognize that in a Halo because that's how Halo's always been. And that's just how it would naturally be in a Battle Royale. So you could see how that would make a Halo Battle Royale really fun. But either way, I could talk about this for 10 years straight. I'm going to cut this video off right here. Let me know down below what you guys think about it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. So appreciate you guys watching all the videos. Later, dudes.